Why is that baby crying so much? Let me check.
Early morning, outside an African hospital gate at 4 a.m., the security guard heard the cry of a baby and rushed to the gate. There was an abandoned baby wrapped in a faded yellow wrapper, crying. The security guard banged on the nurse's station door.
Code in the East Wing, now!
Nurse
On my
Amara
way!
rushed
Hurry,
out
it's
of the
critical!
unit and carried the baby to the neonatal unit, Dr. Chumi was informed. He examined the baby under a warmed lamp. Premature, maybe 34 weeks, he said. They worked in silence. Nurses connected oxygen and IV fluids with a hopeful atmosphere. That evening, Inspector Ndive studied the CCTV footage in the hospital security office. The computer
My baby,
monitor
mommy
showed a
loves you, but your
woman
father
leaving
left
a
me with no
bundle
choice.
near the
He wanted
hospital
a male
gate,
child and doesn't want me
then
to return
said,
home with a girl.
I see. 2 days after, at the emergency unit, a weak young woman was supported by nurses on a stretcher. Nurse Amara
Are you not the woman
recognized
from
her
my
with
last
shock
shift?
and said, "Is this not the woman with bleeding in my last shift?" IV fluids were connected, and she was put on bed, and her vital signs taken. She explained to Sister Agnes why she did that. She held her baby and cried, feeling bad
I'm
for what
sorry,
she
my
did.
husband wanted a male child.
You were afraid and alone, but today you are not alone anymore. Let us help you and your baby start again.
My daughter, I hope you forgive me. We are going to have a fresh start. I name you Hope. I love you.
Story. Don't forget to subscribe. The next morning, Sister Agnes returned with 2 visitors.
My name is Grace.
They were
Our organization
representatives.
supports mothers who cannot afford to raise their children.
Grace continued, "We provide temporary financial support, childcare assistance, and job training." Tears filled her eyes. "You would do that for me?" Grace smiled gently. "For you and your baby." Within weeks, the NGO arranged support for Mrs. Amarachi. They helped her find a small place to stay. They provided food supplies and basic baby care items. Most importantly, they helped her start a small tailoring business. Outside the hospital, news of the abandoned baby story had begun spreading through the community. People talked about the young mother.
I heard the woman who left her
Some
baby outside
blamed
of St.
her.
Mary has been supported
Others
financially.
defended her.
What made her do that?
Eventually, the story reached someone unexpected, Mrs. Amarachi's husband. His name was Daniel. He was working in a nearby town when he heard men discussing the story at a roadside cafe. One woman left her newborn baby at St. Mary's Hospital. One man said, "But the nurses saved the child." Daniel felt uneasy. Her husband ran away because he wanted a son. Daniel's heart began to race. He felt so guilty and started thinking of how he threw her away. Everyone who was drinking had left, and Daniel sat there alone. Mrs. Amarachi worked hard every day while caring for her daughter. The baby who had once been left at the hospital gate slowly grew stronger. Months later, Daniel returned after hearing what had happened. When he saw how much his daughter had struggled alone, regret filled his heart.
My wife,
"I was
I'm
wrong,"
so sorry for what I
he
have put
said
you through.
quietly.
Is that our
I
daughter?
thought having a son made a man proud. He looked at the tiny girl. "But this child is my greatest blessing." Slowly, the family began to rebuild their relationship. Years past time moved forward. The little girl grew into a bright and curious child. Her parents named her Hope. Hope loved books. She asked questions about everything. Often, her mother would bring her to St. Mary's Hospital for checkups. One day, when Hope was 10 years old, she asked a question. "Mama, is this the hospital where I was born?" Her mother hesitated. Then she told her the truth. Yes. Hope looked around the busy hospital, doctors rushing, nurses helping patients. "I want to work here
Mama,
one
I
day,"
wish to be a
she
doctor
said.
when I grow up.
"I want to
I
help
believe in your
babies
dreams.
like me." Years later, that little girl who had once been abandoned at a hospital gate returned to the same place. But this time, She wore a white medical coat. Hope had grown into a brilliant pediatric doctor. The same neonatal ward that once saved her life was now where she saved others. One afternoon, she stood beside a tiny premature baby fighting for survival. She whispered softly, "You're going to be okay." Outside St. Mary's Hospital, the gate stood quietly under the evening sun. The same gate where
Hope
a
lives
newborn
here.
had once been left in the cold, now inside the hospital. That same child was saving lives. Sometimes the smallest acts of compassion change the course of a life. And sometimes, the child you save today becomes the one who saves others tomorrow. Do you think the mother made the right decision by forgiving the father? If you were in her shoes, what will be your reaction? Reply in the comment section.